Welcome to Wisdom Sessions. I'm Zoe, and today we're diving into one of the most painful conflicts families face when love and money collide. With us today is a master whose wisdom has guided millions through life's deepest challenges. We have several questions from our audience, all touching on family, money, and the heartbreak that sometimes comes between them. Let's begin with a letter that moved me deeply. This comes from a listener in Hanoi who writes on behalf of her mother. She says, "My mother is 68 years old. She lived her whole life with honesty, saving every bit of her pension for her old age. Years ago, my brother borrowed nearly 1 billion dong to start a business. He lost it all and never paid her back. Later, I asked to borrow money, and she refused. I was so hurt that I left home and cut off all contact. Now she sits alone, asking herself if she was wrong to keep her money, if it meant losing me. Master, what should a mother do when her love is misunderstood, when money becomes the knife that cuts family bonds?"
This mother's pain is the pain of millions. But let me tell you something very clearly. Money doesn't destroy love. It only reveals what was already hidden in the heart. You see, money is like a mirror. When you hold it up to a family, it reflects back all the shadows that have been hiding in the darkness. The greed, the pride, the old wounds that were never allowed to heal. Money doesn't create these things. It simply brings them into the light. Now, when this daughter became angry with her mother, what was really happening? On the surface, it looks like anger about not receiving money, but dig deeper. What the daughter is really saying is, "You don't love me. You gave to my brother and not to me. You love him more. The money is just the excuse." The real wound is about feeling unloved, about feeling less than, about a lifetime of comparisons and perceived favoritism. This is one of the most important things to understand. When family members fight over money, they are never really fighting about money. They are fighting about love, about recognition, about their place in the family hierarchy. Money is simply the battlefield where these ancient wars are fought. Now, was this mother wrong to protect her savings? No. A person has every right to protect themselves, to think of their future, especially in old age when they are vulnerable. But here is where she may have missed something crucial. The issue is not whether you give or don't give. The issue is how you communicate your decision. A no, if spoken without warmth, without understanding, without love in the voice, can sound like rejection. It can sound like you are not worthy. You are not loved, and that is what breaks the heart. If she had said, "My child, I love you deeply, but I learned a painful lesson with your brother. I cannot afford to lose more. I need this for my survival, for my medicine, for my dignity in old age. Please understand, this is not about you. It is about my fear of becoming helpless and dependent." Perhaps the daughter would still be angry, but the door would not have slammed shut forever. Love is not just an emotion. It is an art of awareness. A mother can give money and still lose her child if there is no consciousness in the giving, and she can refuse money yet strengthen the bond if there is clarity and compassion in the refusal.
That distinction is so important. It's not what we do, but how we do it, how we communicate from the heart. But Master, I know many parents who now carry this exact burden. This mother keeps asking herself, maybe I should have just given the money to keep my child near. What would you say to her and others like her?
Listen carefully to what I'm about to say, because it will free many hearts. To keep someone near you through money is to hold on to the shadow of love, not love itself. If your child stays with you because you give them money, they are not with you. They are with your bank account. The moment the money stops, they will disappear. You will have bought time, but you will not have bought love. Real love asks for nothing. It does not use money as a chain. People stay with us only when they feel freedom in our affection, not obligation, not debt, not guilt. If you bind someone through material means, they may remain in body, but their heart will already be gone. And that is the loneliest thing in the world, to live with people whose hearts are absent. So I say to this mother and to all mothers and fathers who are tormented by this question, do not let loneliness close the door of your heart, because once your heart is shut, you also shut the door to being loved again. You shut out the possibility of reconciliation. Here's the beautiful part, the part that can transform suffering into wisdom. Parents are not only the ones who give physical life, they are also teachers of how to live. And the final, most important lesson a parent can teach is not how to give, but how to let go. When you let go with peace, when you release your child from your expectations and your need to control through giving or withholding, something miraculous happens. Your very serenity becomes a lamp in the darkness. Your peace becomes a beacon. And one day, when that child has wandered enough, when they have learned their own lessons, they will see that light and find their way home. There is no need to chase. There is no need to manipulate. Simply remain still. Radiate your own light. Live in such peace that your peace itself becomes an invitation.
That's profound. Living in peace as the invitation itself. Master, I think many people hearing this will recognize themselves either as the parent or as the child. For those adult children who left in anger, who cut off contact over money, what would you want them to understand?
To the child who left, I want to say this. Your anger is valid, but it is also a prison. You are punishing yourself more than you are punishing your parent. When you hold on to anger, you carry your parent with you everywhere. They live in your mind rent-free. Every day you think about what they did, what they didn't do, how they hurt you. You believe you have left them, but you have not. You are more attached than ever, just through the negative pole instead of the positive pole. Freedom does not come from cutting off contact. Freedom comes from understanding. Try to see your parent as a human being, not as a god or goddess who should have been perfect. They are flawed, they are frightened, they carry their own wounds from their own parents. They did the best they could with the consciousness they had. This doesn't mean you have to accept bad behavior or allow yourself to be hurt again. Boundaries are healthy, but you can set boundaries with compassion rather than with hatred. You can say, I cannot participate in this dynamic anymore, but I wish you well. I release you from my expectations, and I release myself from my bitterness. And here is something to consider deeply. Time is running out. Your parents are aging. One day they will be gone, and you will be left with this unfinished business. I have seen too many people standing at their parents' grave, finally ready to forgive, finally ready to talk, but it is too late. The body is there, cold and silent. The opportunity has passed. Do not wait for perfection. Do not wait for them to apologize in exactly the way you want. If there is even a small opening, even a tiny crack of light, reach for it. Reach for reconciliation, not for their sake, but for your own. Because carrying this anger into your old age will poison everything. It will affect your own children, your own relationships. The wound will be passed down.
Master, this feels like it goes beyond just this one family story. It touches something universal. Let me ask you this. In your understanding, what is the deepest lesson in all of this? When families break over money, over inheritances, over who gave what to whom, what are we really being asked to learn?
The deepest lesson is this: love is not a transaction, yet we have made it into one. From childhood, we learn a very dangerous equation. If I am good, I get love. If I am bad, love is withdrawn. Love becomes conditional. It becomes a reward and punishment system. And money is the adult version of this childhood dynamic. In families, money becomes the symbolic representation of love, of worth, of value. Who gets more money is interpreted as who is loved more. Who inherits the house, who is given help in times of need. All of this is read as a statement about your place in the family, about whether you matter. But this is a tragic misunderstanding. Love cannot be measured, It cannot be weighed on a scale. It cannot be divided equally like pieces of a pie. Love is not a quantity, it is a quality, and every relationship is unique. A mother may give her son money because he is irresponsible and she worries he will starve. She may refuse her daughter because the daughter is strong and capable and doesn't really need it. But if this is not explained, if the consciousness behind the decision is not made clear, the daughter will interpret it as a statement about love. What we are being asked to learn is to separate love from material things, to understand that your worth is not determined by what you receive. Your value as a human being is intrinsic. It has nothing to do with money, nothing to do with what your parents give you or don't give you. And for the parents, the lesson is equally important. Your giving must come from clarity, not from guilt, not from manipulation, not from fear of being unloved. Give when you truly want to give. Refuse when you truly need to refuse. But always, always let your love be visible in your words, in your tone, in your presence. Because in the end, when death comes, and it comes for everyone, what remains is not the money. What remains is the memory of love, the feeling of being seen, of being understood, of being held in someone's heart. That is the only inheritance that matters. Everything else is dust.
That's incredibly moving. The only inheritance that matters is the memory of being loved. Master, thank you. I think this conversation will help many people look at their family wounds with new eyes. Before we close, do you have any final words for that 68-year-old mother sitting alone in her house, wondering if she made the right choice?
Tell her this: you did not fail. You made a choice from where you were standing with the awareness you had. That choice led to pain, yes, but pain is often the doorway to wisdom. Some forms of love must pass through suffering before they become clear. Some refusals are not rejection. They are another form of loving, firm but not weak, clear but not cold. You may have lost your peace for many years, but you have not lost your chance. The door can still open, but it will not open through regret or guilt. It will open through your own transformation. Sit in meditation. Find peace within yourself first. When you are no longer desperate for your daughter's return, when you are no longer driven by fear and loneliness, something shifts in the universe. Your energy changes, and energy travels. Your daughter will feel it, even from a distance. Live fully. Do not sit waiting for a phone call. Go out, meet friends, find joy, pursue the things you always wanted to do. Let your life be so rich that reconciliation, if it comes, is a beautiful addition, not a desperate need. And remember, keeping your money may not save your child, but keeping your clarity, your peace, your dignity might save you both. Because the greatest gift you can give your children is not your money. It is your example of how to live with grace, even in pain.
Beautiful. Thank you, Master, for your profound wisdom today. To everyone listening, if this conversation touched you, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel. Click the notification bell so you never miss a session, and share this with someone who might need to hear it. Leave us a comment about your own experiences with family and money. Your story might help someone else feel less alone. Until next time, may you find peace in your relationships and clarity in your heart. This is Wisdom Sessions.